have Brian Boss sitting on your left playing the blue-white Blade deck. Blue-white Blade versus Tristan Woodsmith with his Bant Pod archetype. Players are off to the races already. No play for either player except for lands.
You would think Tristan would drop something.
Yeah, he's got 4 birds, 2 pilgrims, 4 Viridian emissaries.
Yeah, well, there goes the emissary. Let's see if it sticks. Looks like he does. Looks like Tristan's got a couple solemns in his hand. Let's see quite what else. Is that a Master Thief there?
I think that might have been Master. It's kind of awkward one to draw.
Yeah.
Especially in this matchup, does he have any targets? You got 2 Sword Feast and Famines, but that's about it.
Yeah. No bueno.
Or Inkmoth Nexus if you
There
somehow
goes
make
the
that
sad
work.
bot, and he's really sad in the graveyard.
Alright, yeah, good old Yen's sad robot down. The original artwork, the truly sad robot.
He doesn't look too sad in his new artwork. I think he's kind of happy he got reprinted.
It's like, well, I can make an exception. Be a little happy. So Viridian Emissary comes in from Tristan Woodsmith. Down comes
Bringing
another
the
sad
beats.
robot.
And he's sad with the other sad robot.
Yeah, Manly comes down. Board position, Viridian Emissary on Tristan Woodsmith versus Brian Boss is nothing. But that's how this deck works. We watched Brian Boss play earlier, and basically he just built up,
Yeah.
played some stuff, and then just...
It's kind of what that deck does. Ooh.
Yeah, Consecrated
Goes
Sphinx. Yeah, here we go. Gonna draw 2 cards.
Draw some cards. Consecrated Sphinx is so good.
Oh, really? It's like an honorary Titan, really.
There's Archon of Justice. That guy's going to come in handy.
Gotta deal with the Consecrated Sphinx somehow.
Let's see what he drops. So he drops the pod.
Here's the pod.
But he's going to go get Fiend Hunter.
Whoa! Yeah, that's actually pretty sweet. Yeah, this is really the first deck we've seen. Someone on Twitter pointed out, Charlie Salvador pointed out that this is, really one of the only decks that has a lot of shuffling. We just talked about how much non-shuffling there's in the format. Birthing Pod is the one that does shuffle all the time. We haven't seen any Birthing Pod under the camera yet today.
Yes. He faceless devours the Consecrated Sphinx.
Goodbye, Sphinx. Of course, still done its damage. Brian Boss picked up 2 cards, and I don't think that
that's...
that Fiend Hunter's not going anywhere anytime soon. Ooh, dismember the Fiend Hunter.
You spoke too soon.
Alright, Fiend Hunter down. So, Consecrated Sphinx comes back. Draw 2 cards for Brian next turn. Charlie Salvador points out, Titans are honorary Consecrated Sphinxes. Fair enough.
That's fair. There's another emissary. And he looks like he's got Archon, Viridian Emissary, Master Thief, and Acidic Slime. The only one that seems remotely good right now is the Archon. He's got to deal with that Sphinx.
Yeah, he could put out the Archon. He has enough mana to play at Inactivate Pod to get rid of the Sphinx, right? Assuming Brian doesn't have
yeah,
mana.
he's got 6. Looks like.
Should just not do that. Plays the Emissary instead.
I guess that's fair.
Probably a little worried about mana leak or something. Doesn't want his out.
Doesn't want
to
to
Sphinx.
walk into it. And he can. Well, does he have another Fiend Hunter in his main?
We got 2, yeah.
Yeah, he can go get
he's
another
gonna
one.
do that here.
Seems better.
Get a land.
Go
and
get a
Fiend Hunter.
land and a functional Oblivion Ring.
Except for it can be dismembered. We'll see if Brian Boss has another
Fair.
copy. Deal with it.
You put something to the front.
Think twice.
Snapcaster Mage. Ooh.
Dismember. All right, yeah, dismembers on that Fiend Hunter.
Yep.
Brian Boss loses 4 more
And
life. But
he's taking some beats there with his life total, but looks like he's starting to stabilize pretty well. Is that Alchemy? Yeah.
yeah, but for Alchemy. Some of these new blue cards all look the same. It's like Think Twice, Snapcaster Mage, Forbidden
Right?
Alchemy. They'll kind of have like a blackish background with like a lighty blue thing going down the left side. It's like, well, it's got to be one of those 3.
Well, a lot of the art in Innistrad is very dark.
Yeah, it's true.
And it's all kind of looks the same dark brooding art, but I really love the art.
Oh, yeah.
It's excellent. Oh, the whole flavor of this set is just so great.
Let's see. Land number 3.
And, ooh, suit him up.
He's going to serve in for 6 with that Consecrated Sphinx.
Yes, he is. Ouch. But he's got that Master Thief ready, look.
Yeah, ready to take that sword away. Still going to make him discard a card, though. Brian's going to be able to untap his lands.
Yeah, it's not looking too good.
Swords still making an impact. I haven't seen too many swords today, but a couple here and there, and when they do make an impact, they make an impact.
Yeah, they're definitely still really, really good. So we might call it, Snap Blade.
Snap Blade.
Oh, snap!
Oh, no.
You're like, no blades.
I mean, there are blades in the deck. I cannot deny. There are also Snapcaster Mages in the deck.
Looks like he binned the Master Thief. Okay, well, I mean, stealing a sword is not the, most exciting thing in the world.
Alright, looks like that's going to get dissipated.
Exiled. There we go.
Yep. It goes away. And yeah, Tristan Woodsmith's rough spot. Going to get cracked in for 8 more here, dropping to 4 life.
Yeah, ooh. Not looking good for the Bant guy.
Yeah, Tristan had a pretty weak draw here, and it certainly shows.
Yeah, well, I mean, not leading with a turn 1 bird is not so great, because when you can, you really need to drop pod on, turn 3, and then start, throwing guys out there.
Yeah, I mean, you can go, turn 1 bird, turn 2 pod, or, turn 1 bird, turn 2 emissary, turn 3 pod, or something like that.
Yeah.
But if you don't have that early start, you just kind of have the pod. It doesn't do that. It discards a Razor Hippogriff. My favorite thing about the Birthing Pod deck is just all the random one-ofs you draw. It's like, sweet, a Razor Hippogriff. That's what I always wanted.
There goes
Acidic
the slime.
Slime time.
And Manolete.
You can pay for the 3, but that's still lethal.
Yeah.
All right, and Tristan just packs them in.
Rough beats.
No good for Tristan Woodsmith.
Be interesting to see what they bring in against each other.
Yeah, let's see what we got going on. Let's look at Brian first. Divine Offering, that comes in for those Birthing Pods. No Timelies, no Purges, no Extraction.
Nah.
Maybe the Day of Judgment.
I could see him bringing in Day. Maybe even the other Dismember if he's got all these creatures.
Yeah, killing off those creatures seemed good, especially Fiend Hunter locking down Consecrated Sphinx.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Brian just is going to tap out, I think, for Sphinx whenever he can. So. On the other side, Tristan Woodsmith, we have Trinket Mage. I'm not sure when those come in. He's got 3/9 health Spellbomb, so probably not for this matchup, more for the Solar Flare thing. Naturalize.
Don't think so.
Unless he really wants to get those Oblivion Rings. Thrun could be good. Radiant Corruptor.
Grand Abolisher, I think, should come in. He's playing, so many instants and Snapcasters and all that fun stuff.
Make sure that your Birthing Pods plans don't get muddled with,
Yeah.
Spellskite could be okay. Maybe a third Fiend Hunter if that's what he's feeling like. A couple cards are bringing for either player, but I don't think too much changes, really. I think it's going to be a lot of the same, and I think it's a lot's going to bank on if Tristan Woodsmith has the turn 1 bird. Didn't have it this time.
Yeah.
And he fell. We'll see what happens in the second game. Who do you think's got the edge in the second game, Callie?
If Tristan gets a good draw, I think he could edge him out. But I don't know. Brian's deck it's really good. But I mean, blue-white has always kind of been really good for the last year. So
yeah,
I mean, they got all the right tools right now. I mean, they got the mana fixing. They've got this new Moorland Haunt. That card is just so good. It's unreal. They got counter magic. They've got good costly creatures. I mean, they kind of have the package right now, which is sad for the other colors. But I do think that Tristan he's definitely in this. So we'll see.
Especially on the play with access to birds and Pilgrim and stuff like that. Yeah, the blue white deck. This is Brian's boss's blue white deck. It looks so good. I mean, it seems like every game is just very clean. He's worked on it. Has good numbers on the cards. I like a lot of what I'm seeing. It's for those of you at home who are wondering, it's 4 Snapcaster Mage, 3 Geist of Saint Draft, 2 Consecrated Sphinx, 2 Gideon Jura, 4 Ponder, 4 Mana Leak, 3 Dismember, 3 Oblivion Ring, 3 Dissipate, 3 Forbidden Alchemy. No way to flash that back, by the way. 2 Sword of Feast and Famine, and 2 Day of Judgment. Lands, 7 Island, 5 Plains, 4 Glacial Fortress, 4 Seachrome Coast, 4 Inkmoth Nexus, and a single Moorland Haunt. Maybe we could see more haunts in the future. We'll see.
Maybe. I wonder why he's not playing like one of the isolated chapels to flashback that Forbidden Alchemy. I mean, I don't see why it would be bad, but you know, in the same vein, you know, I think he kind of wants to hit his land drops, you know, and have them come into play untapped. So I don't know. I mean, he might have experimented with it and just didn't see it fit. You know, I mean, it seems like he's really worked on this deck list. So
yeah, you draw that, you know, you draw that black line enough times, you're like, curses! I can't cast the spells I want to cast.
Darn.
We saw him Snapcaster Mage some of Forbidden Alchemies earlier, so I guess that's his way of doing it.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah.
I could see playing 1 or 2 black sources potentially, or you could even do something weird where you have like a couple Ghost Quarters and then like a swamp, so you can always Ghost Quarter yourself if you need to.
I think we're gonna see a lot of Ghost Quarter in the coming months. With the new lands from Innistrad, like I think people are gonna have to start playing because I mean I was watching a red green deck playing earlier and they had Kessig Wolf running out and it was just like, oh, okay, you know, we'll attack with my Chandra's Phoenix and, you know, I'll give it like plus X plus O and trample. It's like, oh, okay, whatever. It's like standard.
That line is great. We saw earlier, I think it was probably the same match. We just saw him be like, all right, 2-tap trample. Like, it was awesome. He was just like, I'm going to give it trample this turn. Seemed pretty neat. I think that it's interesting because in this tournament there's almost no Ghost Quarters. But I agree, in the next couple of months as things proceed, we'll see more people adapting Ghost Quarters to beat cards like Moorland Haunt, to beat cards like Kessig Wolf Run, to beat the
Drown Yard.
The Drown Yard. Yeah, beat almost all of them. I mean, even I can see Stencia Bloodhull even seeing some play. If I hadn't limited, it was really good. I can see it as like a 1-of in a red blackish deck. So.
Yeah, I mean, especially if like you're playing against control and you stall out, you're just like, okay, to you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I mean, because especially if you get that fast draw, then you know go down to. I mean, a lot of times you're just like, I'm out of gas, but they're like 6 lives, you know, and like they're still not doing anything.
Yeah. Todd Anderson drew in. Hopefully that locks him up for top 8. We'll see how that plays out. Crazy to see Phantasmal Dragons in the top 8, perhaps.
Ooh,
see what happens.
Maybe.
But yeah, pretty interesting. I think that the Bloodhall could be even good if like Liliana becomes the card to beat. You know, you could make sure you play it in your red blackish deck and just be like, all right, well 6, you know, deal 2 to your Liliana, untap 6 more 2 Liliana. We'll see what happens. So it looks like the top 8 is shaping up. Ari Lax just walked by. He said he drew in top 8. So Ari Lax, Todd Anderson both seem like they're pretty content with their positions. David Dobernay and Ricky Alley are probably safe to draw too because they're at the top of the standing. So I think the people playing are probably like Greg Norris and AJ Soccer might be playing it out.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. It's always crazy when you have this many people in contention for top 8. So you know we'll see what happens.
Yeah, after 540 people and 10 rounds. I mean, who knows what kind of craziness is.
Right. I worked at PTQ one time where by the second to last round of Swiss we had 0 people undefeated. It was crazy. It was like a 7 or 8 round PTQ and like we had 2 rounds left and there were no undefeated.
They just didn't choose to draw. They just all played it out.
Yeah. Like it was. Well, I mean, like they were there. Yeah. Like where you would normally have undefeateds that would just double draw in. We didn't have any undefeateds to double draw in, so it was just like we had like it's crazy like standings and all the players were like freaking out and it's just like calm down guys, it's battle. It's what Magic is all about.
I remember there was a
the glory.
There was a PTQ side event at GP. I'll tell a story later. All right, we got a game in the meantime.
All right. So looks like no bird for Tristan there.
Oh, or no second land for that matter.
Ooh.
Oh, there's a second land. All right, turn 1 Viridian or turn 2 Viridian Emissary.
It's like Oblivion Ring. Oh, there's a Sun Petal Grove. Blade Splicer.
That's a good one with Birthing Pod if you can find it.
Yes.
Trade up the Splicer, keep the 3/3.
Go get something hot, maybe a sad bot.
Master Thief, if the situation's right, probably sideboarded that one out, though.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
Yeah, probably sad, but
He's got one in his hand, though. Looks like he also has an Archon. And He's bringing the beats.
There's another emissary.
He's got Solemn, Archon, and one other card in his hand. It's like Brian's got a full grip of...
I think Tristan doesn't want to see.
Oh, man.
It's like dissipate,
dissipate on the emissary.
There's a Inkmoth Nexus.
Trying to see. I wish he would hold his hand just a little bit farther down so we can see. Come on.
Oh, Divine Offering on the Golem.
Ooh.
Gain no life though. No converted mana cost.
Small price to pay.
you gain 3 life of it not hitting you, right?
There's the alchemy.
All right, alchemy time.
Let's see what he gets. There's a Seachrome Coast. Looks like a Dismember, maybe? An Oblivion Ring?
Ooh.
Can't quite see.
Yeah, I can't quite see that very well.
I think that's a Dismember, looks like. I don't see what he putting into his hand, though.
One. Ponder?
Ponder, that's what he got, okay.
All right, Ponder. See if he chooses to keep or shuffle.
Hold it down. Come on, let's see.
Looks like Gideon Jura, Day of Judgment, and Mana Leak.
Seems like fine things to have on the top of your deck. I was like, I'll keep those there. Gideon is such a good card. I really haven't seen Gideon hanging around a lot today, though, which is strange because, I mean, really good.
I've seen a handful of Gideons. Like, you see, like a lot of decks have like 2. You know, he's good,
yeah.
but.
And there goes the sad bot. Gets him a land. Looks like a much needed land.
Yeah. Tristan kept for keeping a 1 lander. Certainly drew out of it pretty nicely.
Yeah. Although, I think it's going to be a bit of a grind for him to turn this one.
Yeah, no pod, just hanging out with that Solemn Simulacrum. Brian Boss has shown time and time again to be able to turn this around quite well. Uh, 2 mana, Divine Offering on Solemn.
Game 4.
Alright, so 4 life up to Brian Boss. Tristan will get a card for all that, so. Much needed card, yes. I'm sure, too.
Yes.
Drew Phantasmal Image.
Probably pretty nice a little bit later in the match after Brian drops his Consecrated Sphinx. I'm sure he'll draw.
And then you have the insane Consecrated Sphinx War. Like, what do you do then? You know?
My goodness, your brain explodes.
As a judge, I'm sure you've had a lot of fun times resolving those. Gideon Jura becomes a creature, serves in, drops Tristan down to 14. Razor Hippogriff.
And Mana Leak.
Mana Leak. Not getting that, not letting you get your robot back.
No. Sad Robot's going to stay in the graveyard.
Where it's sad.
And Gideon's going to beat 4-6.
Tristan down to only 8 life. Not a lot going on his side of the battlefield. Can't Phantasmal Image a Gideon very well.
I bet he's wishing he could.
5.
Goes the
Archon. Okay.
And doesn't look like it's going to be sticking around. He's making sure it's not when it leaves the battlefield.
Yep, just when it dies. Okay, Phantasmal Image the Archon.
Ooh.
And now if you target that one's
yes.
going away. So, let's see if Brian Boss. I know Brian, I can tell he just was hoping to ride that Gideon to victory. And I was like, man, he's going to make it so much harder on me if I have to deal with both these Archon of Justice. So he untaps, draws. Finds Inkmoth Nexus.
Let's see. Is he going to drop the Oblivion Ring? Or are you just going to day?
One, 2, 3.
Looks like he's thinking. And Oblivion Ring it is.
Interesting. All right. I kind of feel like I like the day there. Just because you're going to lose your Gideon, I think, no matter what happens. And it feels like you're just kind of expending an Oblivion Ring. But Alright, it says everybody has to attack Gideon. I mean, you can do this to get into some damage. Yeah, that's true. If you just want to rely on your Gideon, this is the way to do it. It'll take some time.
Yeah. I think he's in a pretty good position right now, so I think being able to play a little safe is fun. Try to keep that Gideon out there still.
Ooh, acidic slime. Unlock that Oblivion Ring.
Rough.
Yeah, now I'm pretty sure we're going to have to go for the day.
Which means he loses his Gideon and his other Oblivion Ring.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. I think it's your Snapcaster Mage, though. That's always a good one. Or one of those blue ones with the squiggly line.
I think they're all blue with squiggly lines.
I'm squiggly line blind. I can only see squiggly lines on my cards.
So he checks out his graveyard to see what he has. So
right,
there he goes.
Attacking with the Gideon.
Yeah, he's going to day.
Blocks with the Archon. Archon's going to get rid of Gideon.
I would have been so sick if he had chosen the Oblivion Ring, and then he's like, oh, day, get your Viridian Emissary too. Ha ha. But I think Tristan's a little bit better.
Yeah, yeah. Alright, 4. And Brian's just going to go for the day here. Yep.
Yep. And into the bin.
And probably take away... Is that a Morlon Haunt? Maybe take away that Morlon Haunt with it.
Let's see. Oh.
Or the Inkmoth Nexus one, too.
Tristan thinking? Yeah. He goes for the Oblivion Ring. Get his guy back.
Okay, so he's got a Viridian Emissary just hanging out.
Maybe he'll top deck a birthing pod so we can start getting a good board presence here.
Oh, yeah, if he draws a birthing pod, that's good times for Tristan Woodsmith.
Yes.
Woodsmith. Let's see if that's what he found. I do not see that.
No.
Is that a Scab Ruinator stuck in his
Oh,
hand?
it's Frost Titan.
Ooh, Frosty.
Spicy.
It's a good one to have. Brian Boss can't be happy. The game's kind of went from, like, really good for him to suddenly just slowly trickling out of his reach.
Tristan's still without a pod, though, so...
Yeah, no pod, but a Frost
But
Titan
yeah,
doesn't hurt.
that's having a Frost Titan there is not too shabby.
Oh, do Consecrated Sphinx.
I told you he would draw it.
So,
I told you.
so we've got Blue Titan versus fake Blue Titan.
Pseudo Blue Titan.
All right, well, there's the Sphinx. And let Brian draw 2 cards.
2 cards. Looks like a day and a... Is that a land? It looks like plains, but...
Might have been land. Yeah, Tristan has been locking down that second white source from Brian Boss. But, I mean, the damage in the air from the Concentrated Sphinx is going to be a huge liability for Tristan.
Indeed.
Have you caught what
but
the
cards he can just lock it down with the Frost Titan.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh,
Metamorph. Frost Titan. Uh-oh.
I like how we both went at the same time. It's like, oh, we know that hurts.
Yeah, I mean, I can just Brian Boss the position. It's like, I mean, I've just been in this position so many times. I know it's like you're so far ahead. You're the controller, you're so far ahead, and then suddenly, the pod deck just starts getting back in somehow, and you're like, how is this happening to me? These tiny little things, and if any one thing would be different, you'd be able to win, but these tiny things just keep setting you back.
Another emissary, and he is hellbent.
So does Gathan Raiders get +2/+2? Lock down both of his white sources.
Yeah, well, he doesn't want to see a Day of Judgment right now.
No, I suppose not.
I don't blame him.
With 2 Frost Titans down. Now he can Divine Offering the Metamorph with that Plains if he wants to.
It's true.
It stills an artifact. That's the one tricky thing about that Metamorph.
Yes. However, it will cost him 4.
Yes, I recommend that you pays the 2. So easy just to forget, especially in this case. It's like, oh, it's just a Phyrexian Metamorph. I'll just pay the 2. Do you have any responses? No? Alright, well, nothing happens. 1, 2, okay.
There he goes. Okay.
Alright, Divine Offering. Tristan Woodsmith at 4 life. Brian Boss gained 6 from that, too. Goes up to
Nice.
17.
He's going to have to start locking down that Consecrated Sphinx.
Yeah, Tristan's got to lock down that Sphinx this turn. And Brian's going to be able to draw 2 cards off it, though. And
Yeah, see how he just turns the game around just like that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
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 It's like it's a control deck or something.
I know, right? Almost like Cobblade.
No, that's like the eerie ghost of Cobblade coming from Callie Anderson.
It's the Geist of Saint Cobblade.
Oh dear.
Oh,
It's like
my
you-
jokes.
Like you've been possessed by Cobblade. It's like you need to get an Exorcist. I don't know who exorcises Cobblade. Not very many people, let me tell you.
Oh. Goodness me.
Alright, so the board, you got Consecrated Sphinx on Brian Boss's side versus Frost Titan and some emissaries on Tristan Woodsmith's side.
Just checking out his graveyard.
The graveyard.
And don't think he's chosen what he wants to lock down just yet. Yeah, of course.
Gotta lock down the Sphinx. He doesn't want to.
Nice choice. Doesn't want to, but... Well, even if Brian still, casts Day of Judgment here, I mean, he gets, the Sphinx is gone, so...
And he gets 2 lands, which is what really counts.
Yeah.
Sweet lands.
And here comes...
Ooh,
Birthing
there's the
pod.
pod.
There it is.
And Brian has used up his Divine Offering. So, yeah.
So he sacks the Emissary.
Let's see, what are we going to get?
I'm
Fiend
sure he
Hunter?
gets Fiend Hunter
That
here.
Fiend Hunter would be the worst possible card for him to get, though.
But
Because then
he-
he'd cast Day and it would
Sure,
reset.
but he doesn't know he's got Day in hand. But he could get a Phantasmal Image, or has he already played that?
Well,
Or he's going to get Scob?
Image costs 2, so that wouldn't work out. Scob could be
Oh,
original.
yeah, that's right.
Oh, Scob is really good because if Brian Day's here, you can replay the Scob from his graveyard. Spicy new Innistrad card making an appearance.
Oh, he's thinking. There you
No.
go. He gets the Scob.
Oh dear. Now Brian Boss still has that Moorland Haunt. He could make some tokens potentially.
This is true.
Yeah, if you're Brian Boss, you have to day here. Unfortunately, I always
Yeah.
feel bad daying away Consecrated Sphinx. It's like
I
I just want
know.
to draw the cards. Like, kind of pass the turn, get some cards. But no, I think is that a Snapcaster Mage out against him?
Yep. Looks like it. Looks like he's got Day, Snapcaster, and oh, everything goes to the graveyard.
All right.
Alright.
Oh man, yeah, you can Scab Ruinator every turn with the Birthing Pod.
Oh, so sick.
And then you
You
start
can
getting
get-
4 drops.
You can get Stonehorn Dignitary. Woo!
Or
He probably, I'm sure he cited that out.
Yeah, Psalm Simulacrum. Thrun the last trolls.
Oh,
actually
yeah,
pretty legitimate.
Thrun would be an excellent choice to get here. But, I mean, he can still infinitely chump block with a Moorland Haunt, but, in the same vein, he's not getting killed by the Moorland Haunt spirits either, so...
Yeah, I mean, Brian's probably just got to go for the Get Spirits attack plan. Maybe Tristan just gets the 5/6 and is happy with it. I don't know. Or does he have enough to replay it twice? I don't know if he's got enough blue mana to play it, pod it, replay it.
Yeah.
Or enough creatures in the graveyard. I think he probably has enough creatures in his graveyard. Let's see. 1, 2, 3.
Yep, he's going for the Scob.
Here comes the Scob Ruinator.
Oh, that guy's so good. I like him a lot. It's fun to see the new cards being played.
All right, and Scob Ruinator comes down, exiles 3 cards. And
Does he go for it? Yes.
1, 2. All right, activate it.
All right, so let's see what he goes and gets.
I'm kind of curious what he's going to get here.
There's Solemn.
Psalm's not that exciting. You could go for
No.
Metamorph and really chain up with that Birthing Pod, but that seems kind of
But
unnecessary.
there's nothing on the battlefield for Metamorph.
Right,
now.
exactly. You just have to do some stuff with Scob Ruinator next turn. Seems kind of silly.
Yeah, it looks like. Oh yeah, Thrun. What are we talking about?
Well, he's looking at that Psalm.
Well, he could use some more lands. That's for sure.
He does go for the Solemn.
Yeah, I think he wants to get enough land so he can Scob.
Yeah, and then have it around for next turn. All right. now Brian's kind of in a tricky position. He's got Tristan down to 4 life, but how does he overcome that? And for that matter, I mean, what starts happening when the Razor Hippogriff comes out to play? You know, it's gained some more life. Just an uphill battle.
Yeah, well, I mean, if Tristan can survive enough to get Elishnorn out, then it's going to be looking pretty good. So he's got a 4, so next turn he'd get a 5, and...
Oh, replays the Scott.
Oh, there, yeah, the Hippogriff is, yeah, it's...
Alright, so Scab comes down. And now I think Brian Boss is going to make a 1/1 token.
Doesn't seem like a bad play here.
Yeah, just free 1/1, sure. I like 1/1s. Do you like 1/1s?
I like 1/1s.
I like 1/1s. All right, sweet. We all like 1/1s.
We can all agree 1/1s are good.
Well, I'd say 1 out of 1 dentists agree that 1/1s are the best 1/1s.
Do we have any dentists here? We could ask them.
All right. Untap 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There is an Inkmoth Nexus hiding down there, too, although it's far cry from killing anybody. Can do some jump blocking.
Oh, wait, I think there's a Snapcaster Mage, and it's like...
Oh, Ponder.
Scab in the Exile Zone?
Scab is... Oh, maybe it dissipated. What's it doing over there?
Oh, snap. I bet it did. We missed that.
The Consecrated Sphinx is all on the top of Brian's graveyard. What's going on with that Scab? I think...
Oh, he played Snapcaster Mage and flashback the Dissipate, I'm sure.
Ah, that's where the Mage went. Okay, that makes sense.
Rough beats.
That's a good way to get it. That's a good one way to kill a Scab.
Right? A good way to kill a Scab.
It's very true. All right, down comes 5. Gideon Jura.
Oh.
All right, you're going to go +2 and see if Gideon can finish the job he started. All right, plays another Inkmoth Nexus and then ships the turn back to Tristan.
All right, let's see. What kind of 5-drops does he have?
What can he get on turn 5 for 5?
He's already played a 6 slime, I think.
He does have 2 slimes. Yeah, slime is really it.
Yep.
Yeah, there's just not very many good 5-drops. He already used the Archon of Justice. So, alright, he cracks that. He's going to draw a card. I think it was just a land. And go get an acidic slime. I don't think that'll be enough.
Yeah, I don't think so. Too bad it doesn't target planeswalkers. Womp womp.
If only it was Bramble Crush slime or something. I mean, I guess you can chump block, but yeah, Dissipate's a pretty good answer to Scab Ruinator.
6 slime's a good answer to Moorland Haunt.
It's true. I think he flashbacks Think Twice there. Or no, he just makes a 1/1 token.
Yeah.
Oh, even as came prepared with Spirit tokens. How about that?
I like the new Spirit tokens. They're kind of cool.
Yeah, they are.
They're like all green and googly.
Googly. I feel like that's like very Ghostbusters. What is that green creature Tristan played?
Is that
look familiar?
Tree of Redemption?
That'd be a weird one.
I think that is Tree of Redemption.
I did not expect him to board in Tree of Redemption.
Interesting.
Well, I guess we'll see what happens.
Doesn't attack Gideon.
That's true. That is one of many powers of Tree of Redemption. Looks like Brian Boss is holding on to a mana leak. Now Brian Boss kind of trying to figure out, this game has gone on for so long. You know something about watching long games. We were just watching a long game not long ago. And this one just seems to keep going on and on. Brian's gained such an advantage, and then somehow Tristan found his birthing pod to tie his deck together, and here we are.
This has definitely been one of those kind of, tide-turning games.
Oh, they told that's the priest, the 1/1 for 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with all the new art.
Yeah, well, it kind of looks like a tree, weird blob thing.
I didn't see the mythic rare symbol, which is why I was like, oh. Also, it'd be really weird for tree to be in this matchup. But who knows? You never know when you need a tree. So it's like the towels of Magic, like
Don't forget to bring a towel.
Don't forget to bring a tree. Like, you never know. Make it dismembered in response. Alright, so Pilgrim chump blocks Gideon. And looks like he drew another birthing pod. Yeah, I think that's the second pod.
Ouch.
Oh,
Tristan is at 1. So he needs a miracle.
Yeah, I don't know if birthing pod's gonna help him. He cracks that first. He could get Elish Norn this turn. But Elish Norn might do it.
Yeah?
Well, maybe Gideon can eat him up. Oh, Sun Titan. And he can get something back, like Phantasmal Image if it's still there. And then he can play his other birthing pods, crack Sun Titan, get Elish Norn. Wow. That was pretty good. That actually seems like it was a pretty good draw for Tristan Woodsmith, assuming Elish Norn is still in his deck. Yep, there's still that Phantasmal Image. Oh, dear. Oh. Get back Blade Splicer.
So good.
Goodness gracious. And as long as he has the Elish Norn, he can deal with the 1/1 Spirit token.
Yep.
There's the other pod, and he has enough mana to pay for that mana leak to activate it.
Sick.
Sacrifice the Phantasmal Image, get the Elish Norn. Unbelievable.
Wow.
The game just keeps going and going.
Again, the tides have turned,
yeah.
You know.
It looked like Brian was going to take it down.
Wow.
Oh, man. Let's see. Plains. Everyone attacks Gideon. Pass. But, I mean, that's attack. I guess he has enough Inkmoth Nexi that he can shump block. Oh, or
he
not.
just lets Gideon take the beats.
Oh, if he shump blocks, can he have killed... Oh, Elton doesn't tap. It's got Vigilance.
Yeah, it's got Vigilance.
Jeez.
Wow, Tristan takes it down.
Wow, that game was insane. I was really surprised.
That was a very swingy game.
Yeah, I thought...
Just kept going back and forth.
I mean, Tristan kept getting back in it, and then I thought Brian Boss myself his chance here and there, and then somehow...
Tristan's grin looking at him.
Yeah. Feels pretty incredible he was able to pull that out. Wow.
Yeah, that was...
What a game.
Yeah, that was a really good game of Magic.
Yeah, it's really back and forth, and it really showcases some of what this format's about. Oh, man. Well, going on to Game 3, Brian Boss will be on the play. See if that makes a difference. Still have not seen a Turn 1 Birds or a Pilgrim out of Tristan. Maybe that'll change around, and he'll have it this time.
I mean, he's got, 6 total 1-drops, so hopefully, he can lay down some fast beats. But Brian's deck is really good, I think it's anybody's game, really.
Yeah, I mean, I think Brian has the advantage, but I mean, if Tristan draws a birthing pod, just gets everything going like he did that game.
Yeah. And
oh man, yeah, that game really fell within Brian Boss's reach. I don't know how much time there is left either. We'll see if they can finish that game. The second game took a long time.
Yeah, it did.
See what happens. Tristan smiling for the camera. It's awesome. Let's see. Let's see here. Anything that would change up in sideboarding? I don't think so.
No, I think they're gonna leave everything the same.
Yeah.
He might bring in that tree. Who knows?
Never know when you're gonna need a tree. Yeah, I don't think he needs a tree.
No.
Interesting card though that's showing up. When I first read it the first time, I was like, "Whoa, this card is trippy!" Like exchange your life total with Tree of Trees in toughness. And at first I was like, "Oh, so it's like tap, your life total becomes 13, but you actually switch the life, which is really interesting."
Mm-hmm.
You kind of have to keep that permanently marked somewhere. Or it can get kind of tricky, but
yeah.
Magic does weird things sometimes.
I think they just made Innistrad just to make judges cry. It's like double face cards. Sure, you can deal with that. All these other crazy cards, you can deal with that. And we're like, come on.
What are some of the cards that you guys get the biggest, besides double face cards, you guys get the biggest, rules problems with, or weird people not understanding it?
Really, what I've seen, it's just been more just problems with the with the double face cards. Like especially, we have had a couple unfortunate incidents where players were not playing opaque sleeves with their double face cards.
Oh no.
So
that's pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, so if you are playing with double face cards, please make sure you're either playing with checklists if your sleeves are not opaque, or you cannot see through your sleeves, because we are, looking out for that.
And you know what sleeves are perfect are the new StarCityGames.com sleeves. They're excellent because you look at the back and you can't see through it at all. There's some great Justin Treadway artwork on the front.
Yeah, those tribal sleeves are really cool. They are definitely opaque. However, the Star City Game Open Series sleeves, not so opaque.
Oh, really?
With the one with the guy holding the trophy, they're a white background with blue. So.
Yes.
But still, the tribal sleeves are good enough. Oh, looks like we're on.
All right, no turn one play from Tristan in yet another game. Just turn two, Brian Emissary gets mana leaked.
Draws a Razor Hippogriff. That guy might do some good later on. Is that a Grand Abolisher?
Yeah, it's a Grand Abolisher.
Ooh, I told you. Told you he'd bring that in.
Yeah, I think it's just you just have a 2-drop. You can play it sometimes. Does stuff. Is that alchemy? Yep.
Yes.
In
alchemy. Response.
Very important doing it in response. No spell pierce anymore. No, don't have to fear that. Alright, put some cards in the graveyard. Looks like Brian Boss's hand is Mana Leak, Day of Judgment, some lands. I didn't see a big guy in there, but it might be forthcoming.
Well, again, he will draw it.
Oblivion Ring on the Abolisher. Doesn't want any of that nonsense.
It's like, I want to play spells on your turn.
But as if on perfect timing, Tristan draws his Sylvok Replica right off the top.
I see the bird in his hand.
Only 6 minutes left in the round, so these guys are going to have to play quickly or risk getting a draw. Neither of them wants that. They're playing for top 16 right now, and a draw might knock them both down into top 32. So
gotta get that money.
Yeah. And the open points, too, so you can qualify for the Invitational. That's big. Invitational's coming up a couple months in Roanoke. Or, sorry, not Roanoke, in Charlotte.
Charlotte, yes. It's going to be a really awesome event. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be my first Invitational on SCG staff.
Ooh, that's pretty exciting.
It's always a good show.
I'm sure Todd will be there as well.
Oh, of course. Of course.
All right, so Tristan does have birds.
There's that bird. Finally.
Never on time. You know, a bird is never late, never early. He arrives precisely when he intends to. And there's a solemn simulacrum.
He's so solemn.
And man, it's a very sad robot indeed.
Yes.
To the graveyard yet again. Brian Boss is pretty good at drawing those mana leaks early. They've been pretty crucial this match to keeping down Tristan's threats.
Looks like he top decked a Dissipate.
Let's see. And there's Acidic Slime.
Slime for the Oblivion Ring, but gets exiled instead.
Yep, no ruinating there. So can now you remove that to Scab Ruinator, and it's permanently gone.
Oh.
Ships back to Tristan.
He's got, what's that, a day?
Ooh, there's a birthing pod.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, if that comes down, Brian doesn't have an answer. It could be rough times. Or you just go for the old Hippogriff. Hippogriff back my...
I don't know. I think I might go for the pod here. Oh, is that a Thrun in his hand, too?
Ooh, wow.
I might just go for the beats.
Yeah, I like the Thrun. So many options for Tristan. Let's see what he goes for. What do you think you would do here out of those three options?
I might go for the pod because you've got the Hippogriff to bring it back if it gets countered.
He goes for the Thrun.
But Thrun's not a bad choice either. I mean, you know.
Alchemy. I was going to say, I hope it's not a counter spell.
Oh, there's a
Sphinxy. And Dissipate, a couple other cards.
Is that 2 Snapcaster Mages, looks like?
Might be 2 Snapcaster Mages. And...
He's agonizing over this one. He's like, can I keep all 4?
It's very tempting. So he dumps.
Dissipate.
And... yeah, the players have to play at a pretty brisk pace.
Oh, that was
here.
another Forbidden Alchemy.
Another Alchemy, okay. Yeah, after watching these couple games, I really feel like Brian, if he just had like a Swamp or something in his deck and he could have flashbacked last game, he might have been able to pull it out. So maybe playing 1 or 2 Black Sources is correct. Or even just maybe, like 2 Sphere of the Suns or something like that.
Yeah, it's not a bad choice either. Help him get up to those consecrated Sphinx.
Consecrated Sphinx. All right, 1 mana ponder.
He's thinking. Let's see what he's got. Land.
Well, do you want lands? If the answer is no. Oh, the answer is yes.
Yeah, I can see that.
And Sphinx time. It just almost instinctively just plays it.
Oh, I see what you did there. Look at you making puns and stuff.
Such a big boy. All right, so Brian draws 2 cards when Tristan draws a card.
Right. I think he's highly considering that
Yeah,
pod.
Brian cannot stop the pod. He's tapped out. So if he wants to pod, probably lead the bird into something. There's no Mirror Superion hiding around here, though. Phantasmal Image on Consecrated Sphinx is something he could do.
Ooh.
Things could get wild. You know, when there are 2 Consecrated Sphinxes, things only start going insane.
I am glad I'm not the judge at that table.
There's no sort of War and Peace in Brian's deck, so I guess it's not a huge liability, but Tristan doesn't know that. Yeah, figuring out how the double Consecrated Sphinx thing works can be nightmare.
Well, I mean, if you are clear about it and you track everything, I mean, it's easy to do. I mean, it's just, a bunch of triggers, but most people just start just drawing cards willy-nilly and then
you find out they drew like 6
my
extra
goodness,
cards. And the triggers weren't supposed to continue. And
yeah, but these guys seem like they know what they're doing, so I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt.
All right, there's Birthing Pod.
There's the pod.
All right.
One thing he could do is, sack the Thrun to go get the Archon of Justice.
It's true. Oh, he does.
Wow.
I didn't think he was gonna throw away his Thrun like
wow,
that.
I would have bashed first, certainly. Like, I mean, he's not gonna. Oh, I guess he could block with this Sphinx.
Well, yeah. I guess what would you do? I guess he could Morkrut bench. No.
No.
I don't like attacking.
Banshee would be pretty good in a Birthing Pod.
Yeah, if the black versions have it. I don't like attacking there. Because he just blocks, you just have to burn him Generation Mana, right?
Fair.
See if he's got an Oblivion Ring for that Archon. I really don't like losing that Thrun, but see if Brian doesn't have an answer, it's going to slow him down. But I think he does have the Oblivion Ring. When you're drawing 2 cards off Consecrated Sphinx every turn, you just have all the things you need.
You draw everything.
All the things. All the things, Callie.
Let's see. Yep. There's the Oblivion Ring for Birthing Pod.
Oh, ring the pod. He's afraid that he's just going to lose to the pod going along, which is a pretty reasonable thing to think.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
remember what happened last game?
Right? He's like, oh, whoops, Ellerstorn.
Yeah, exactly. All right, that's time in round 10. These players might have a couple extra minutes potentially because of extension for getting a feature match, but certainly not much time left if they do.
Sylvok Replica. Forgot he had that guy.
And that'll burn up the Birthing Pod.
And then he can sack the Archon. And let's see, what's a 6-drop? He can go and
I don't think either player can end this game in 5 turns, though.
No, not at all.
Maybe Tristan could if he got up to Elishnorn or something, but Brian, I don't think can. If they're on 5 turns right now. All right, Snapcaster Mage comes down. And we're gonna, does that dissipate? Dissipate the Sylvok Replica. No Sun Tightening it for you.
No. Drops another bird and ships the turn.
Oh, man.
Bet he's kind of missing that replica. That would have been nice for him right there.
Oh, yeah, that replica would have been huge. All right, now Brian.
He's got lands, Mana Leak, and Day, looks like.
Yeah, nothing too exciting.
But still enough to hold down the fort at least.
Hold down the fort, but unfortunately for Brian, I think it's all he's going to be able to do.
And Tristan ripped a Birthing Pod.
Whew. Although I think Brian drew as a Mana Leak. Oh, but he has the second birds now, he can pay for it. If you Mana Leak it here, you can maybe...
I don't know, I might have paid life for that pod.
Yeah, I mean, the 2 life is probably not going to be relevant. Although I guess yeah. I guess you just end up paying life if you have to pay for Mana Leak, so it works out the same either way.
All right.
And
Well,
there goes the leak.
Brian's gonna leak it.
And he will pay.
All right. Looks like it resolves.
And
I don't know if they're on extra turns right now or not, but either way.
And he's like, get that Sphinx out of here.
Yeah, we don't want any more Sphinx. So much Sphinx.
Get Swarm Coil Engine.
Swarm Coil Engine's good,
Yes.
but if they're on 5 turns, it's not going to end in time. I'm not sure if they're on 5 turns or not, but I'll find out here in a second. I'm checking to see if they're in turn 2 right now. Yeah, this game's going to end up in a draw.
Yep.
We'll watch it just to make sure nothing blows our mind.
Oh, I mean, we kind of got thrown for a bit of a loop last game, so I mean, you never know.
The big thing is Tristan only gets 1 more attack step. If he had 2, Elishorn might be able to get somewhere.
Yeah.
But with only 1 more attack step.
Especially, too, with Brian with a day in his hand.
Yep, day. Blow everything up, resets his birthing pod chain. And Brian just gripping a couple lands. That's turn 3.
Got a couple LSVs.
Oh, yeah. Like LSV. Have you seen the new Conley token?
No.
Oh, it's great. It's really good.
And let's see, that's
Turn 4.
Hinterland Harbor.
All right. Yeah, sure. Hippogriff. Turn 4.
Back
Hippogriff.
the Worm Coil.
As a judge, does it ever frustrate you when players continue to play on like turn 4 when they can't win? And they just like, do all these things?
Not really. I mean, I'm also a player too, so I kind of understand. You still want to play out the game.
Maybe your opponent will make a mistake, like draw an extra card or something.
Yeah.
Like you never know.
Well, I mean, I never want that to happen.
Yeah, but if they did, you would call a judge.
I mean, it's just 2 more turns of Magic. I mean, as long as you're not slow playing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with
the
that. I
important
mean,
part.
playing it out. I certainly understand.
All right.
Goes and gets Frost Titan.
Frosty. All right.
But
Brian.
doesn't look like.
Brian takes his last turn. We're probably going to see if one will concede to the other at this point. Because, once again, they're looking for top 16. Sees a bunch of stuff, just going to shuffle it.
Is there anything he can draw right here?
To win the game this turn?
I mean,
don't think
sure
so.
he can. He can draw a day to not lose the game.
Well, it's just turn 5, isn't it?
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah. Looks like they are.
Yeah, it's turn 5, so.
Try there's not a deal 27.
No, the good old blue-eyed deal 27.
I mean, I seen it.
I think there was a Snapcaster Mage in there, which acts as a day. Or maybe it's Consecrated Sphinx one of those two. That's really good 3 cards if the game were to continue. I think it's Sphinx's Divine Offering, Snapcaster Mage. Alright, there's Snapcaster Mage. Gonna rebuy the Wrath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wrath you.
Plays the Wrath.
And then next turn he could kill off the Birthing Pod, but oh, maybe he got the last turn. All right, that's it. Looks like they're just gonna go for the draw, or they're gonna talk about it a little bit. Oh no, they're just grabbing the slip. Looks like it's a draw. And after a pretty tight game of Magic, ends up in a draw.
Yeah. Well, that second game went a pretty long time, and it was a good game of Magic.